Other, this is Dave from Hawaiian South Shore, and we have the future fin expert, and he's going to go over the vector fin. First of all, introduce yourself, and then we can get into the vector.
How's it going? I'm Taylor with Futures, and yeah, we're excited to bring these back. These are our new Vector 3.2s, making them in a medium and large, currently in our alpha construction. This was a fin that we originally came out with in 2006, a little ahead of its time. There were definitely some diehard customers that loved it, that got their hands on it, but for the masses, it just I don't know if they weren't ready for it. But yeah, now we're bringing it back with some new twists on it. And yeah, we're stoked on it. They've been selling in really well, and people are experiencing new feelings and in boards that might not be their favorite, but they're getting a new lively feel under their feet. So the biggest thing here in the Vector 3.2 is the foil of the fin. And it's kind of hard to tell maybe on camera, but normal fin, thruster side fin, 6.5 degrees of cant. These start at 6.5 degrees and then they go another three, which so they're 9.5 degrees at the tip. They're a little more canted out at the tip. And then the toe of the fin is normally at 3 degrees, and these are towed in even a little bit more at the tip. So you get this twist in the fin. And the whole idea around the foil of the fin, the Vector 3.2 with having the full Vector foil from the base all the way through the tip. So there's a couple things going on here. The idea about these fins is with the Scimitar tip, the flattened edge of the fin is we're reducing the rake of the fin to add a little bit more pivot because that full vector foil wants to grip and stay on rail, so it complements that. So the whole idea around it is to create more lift and less drag. So there's multiple planing surfaces on this fin with the added cant and the added toe to make the fin generate speed easier and reduce a lot of drag, as well as shortening your turn arc by having that chop tip, the Scimitar tip there. So what a lot of guys will feel, guys and girls, is a fin that almost feels like there's no resistance. It's really easy to connect your bottom turn to your top turn and carry that momentum, that speed, that drive down the line. So it really cleans up intermediate to entry level surfers turns, provides a ton of speed, and yeah, they're geared towards smaller to average surf. I wouldn't be surfing these in pumping waves. These are shot with a higher carbon content, so they are stiffer than the normal alpha. And the reason we did them in alpha to start is the price point of the fin. They only retail for $80, and we wanted everybody to have access to them. We are coming out with these in a black stick construction, some higher end materials. John's getting his version of it, which is right here. This is John's new small wave scimitar. This John does not have the added toe or cant. It's his normal John template from about 75% of the way down with the scimitar tip, but it does have that full vector foil. So for him, this is the smallest waves he's surfing. Generates a ton of speed, makes the tail feel really light and lively. This is actually in our vapor core construction. Um, but yeah, the people that have had the opportunity to try some of this new vector stuff, they've all been really stoked on it. And from guys on tour down to the everyday dude, they're getting to feel things that they've never felt before, which is awesome. And yeah, we're gonna bring these into twin fins. We got quads coming out, twin plus one. Um, but yeah, some different variations of the toe and cant too, for different applications, even in bigger wave stuff. So yeah, we tapped back into our fin vault and are resurrecting something that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I remember when we used to have those fins back in
Yeah.
the days. Yeah, we sold a lot of them. I liked it on smaller
Cool.
waves. So so going back first, the materials, it's the alpha material.
Correct.
So what is alpha material, first of all?
Alpha is part nylon, part carbon fiber, and the nylon is all from recycled fishing nets. So we work with a company, Boreo, that pulls all those long line fishing nets out of the ocean. They process it and send it to us. We melt it with carbon and mold these. So they're super lightweight, really resilient. They have a lot more of a vibrant feel to them than normal, like our normal Thermotech fins, which are just like the entry level fin that you would maybe get when buying a surfboard. The shop will give it to you, or the shaper. But yeah, this is that next step up. So good price point, recycled fishing nets with carbon fiber. And one thing with these foils, why we shot them a little stiffer is because you don't really want these to flex. You want the foils to stay the way they are. And yeah, it's a very unique feel. I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not the one to like to experiment with the crazy stuff. I'm pretty tried and true to what works and stay kind of in my lane with the fins that I like, but these really opened my mind to feeling something I've never really felt before for like a daily driver per se. Um, Definitely have been able to ride my standard shortboards a little even smaller, like in conditions, smaller wave heights, because the amount of speed and flow that it creates, it's pretty cool. It's definitely something pretty unique.
Okay. So that and then the you were also talking about the vector of the fin. So
Yep.
that's the inside foil. So the
That's
more foil there is, the more lift you get. And it gives you that drive down the line. So
yep.
since it sucks so much water on the foil to give you that speed, that's
Yep.
why you guys cut the tip off so it releases, right?
Correct. It would be overly grippy if we didn't put the Scimitar tip on it.
Yeah.
And the Vector 1 is a convex from the base all the way through the tip, where like the black sticks start at the base and then go flat at the tip to have better release. So with that foil running all the way through the tip of the fin, that's why we shortened the trailing edge, put the Scimitar tip on it, while still having a solid base. But yeah,
Yeah. So the side fins has two different cants.
correct.
So with that first cant and the second cant, so if you just had one cant going all the way through versus these two cants, what is the difference in feel?
So as the board rolls from rail to rail in turn and creating speed and driving down the line, it's efficient this way, and it's also efficient that way, even as the board rolls on rail even more. So it opens up your range of creating the optimum lift, more lift, less drag.
So the
So
more you go on rail, one
it
part
wants
of the
to
cant is
stay.
engaging, and then the
Yep.
second pant, when you're even more on rail, it'll still engage that lift.
These like to be on rail. The
Oh,
more you're on
okay.
rail, the better they work.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
And then the center fin is the same thing with the chopped off tip, right? Well, you call it the
Correct.
scimitar.
Yep. Just yeah, chopped scimitar tip. It is a little bit different of a template than the side fin. But yeah, it's just a little bit more cutaway, just to aid in that release off of the top.
Right on. So small to medium sized waves, maybe up to about head high. Perfect.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, for
Right
the
on.
average guy, I mean, um, even if it is a little overhead, but if it's more of kind of a flat faced wave where you're surfing more laterally instead of top to bottom, that they work well in that too. I've been trying these as a quad front even recently, paired with our flat foiled pivot quad rears,
Oh
and
man,
yeah, they work really good.
I
Um,
bet.
you have a quad rear coming out that mimics the Scimitar template, with the chop tip and a flat foil. So pretty excited about that. And then, like I said earlier, we have some twins coming out that way too, even with different variations of the toe and the can.
Right
Um,
on. Yeah,
so
yeah, I remember all those. I remember I had one that was flaring out like this in the rear quads.
yeah,
Yeah, right
definitely.
on. When somebody uses one of the fins, does the fin feel, since it's sucking up so much more water, does it feel a little bit more, feel bigger?
Not so sometimes with a full foil, the fin could surf a little bigger because it's more gripped into the wave. You're
Yeah,
not getting that release as easily, but being that so also with a fin feeling bigger, it's harder to get it on harder to roll it on rail and go from rail to rail. So that's what that added cant is going to help free up the board, add that looseness to where all these things are complementing each other to kind of bring you best of both worlds.
right on. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No
That was a good
worries.
breakdown.
Cool.